Shooter. This is a Kyle Files. This is Keep Beat podcast. We'll be right back in a second. Wow, there wasn't any sound for that video? So you're saying there wasn't any sound for the video, sir?
There was no sound. There was no sound for the video, sir.
Oh, that's bad. Well, you know YouTube be hating. They didn't want nobody to hear that. Anyway, all right. Well, tell me if there's sound for this one, because we finna play the update on Bucci Cat. Can you hear that? No sound for that video. All right, hold on. Let me change it. Dang on that we will not be stopped.
Site crisis services is available. That
there
number
you go.
is 716-834-34. Just as I conclude, want to mention that we have been joined by Mascon District Council Member Ulysses Wingo, Niagara District Council Member David Rivera, and Buffalo Urban League President and CEO Thomas Buford.
Is he name dropping again?
Urban League and the Urban League Crisis Services team that has been in the community.
Is he name dropping again?
Over the last 24 hours. Again, we are Buffalo strong. We will pull together a community. And as we grieve and as we express our deepest and most heartfelt prayers to families of those who lost loved ones, we as a community will rise again stronger than before. We'll open up for your questions.
You mentioned that there are state and federal warrants going out. Who are they for and what are they regarding?
Right now, warrants are being obtained for his home. Warrants are being obtained for the vehicle. A warrant was executed on the vehicle. Again, there's social media platforms, there's a computer, telephones, and then any other digital footprints that might come along or digital technologies.
So are there any other individuals that you're looking into?
At this point, the investigation is showing that he did this by himself.
Yeah, right.
Again, looking into some other aspects that we're not going to get into. I'm not going to share at this point. But this was a lone act here, but we are looking into anything that comes up.
Why is it always a long act?
Always.
But my question is, didn't he broadcast this live on Twitch? Who was he broadcasting to? Who would want to see such a thing?
Right.
So he was in the Buffalo area. He was right in this area the day before. The warrants on social media platforms, GPS technology, that's going to help us put a much better timeline. We have identified some of the locations that he was at. We know he did some reconnaissance on the area and in the store. But as far as the timeline of when the act took place, the first 911 call came in at 2:30 p.m. yesterday.
Hold on, y'all, real quick.
Patrol officers were on scene at 2:31, according to our CAD yesterday. The officers immediately engaged the subject. As it was said, he put the gun underneath his chin, and our officers very courageously used every de-escalation tactic that they could. They talked him down. It was a pretty one-sided fight there with the armor that he had, and they were able to safely take him into custody with no further shots being fired. It was just a tremendous.
So he could have thrashed y'all, but he chose not to, huh?
Basically is what he's saying.
Because of the training of your officers, you knew how to negotiate.
Right. Dude, this is all I'm saying, though. What's really funny is that he talking like they did such a great job. Y'all should, you know what a great job would have been? Oh, well, they said they couldn't do that because he had on armor. They was out there slipping damn. Basically.
Right. Oh, because it's the flea market of the homies, so they didn't come ready to.
That I'm not going to disclose. That's the investigation.
I mean, I'm still on the other story because it's set up.
Hold on,
We understand the urgency of the situation. I have surged our team to work on warrants and to work with our law enforcement partners.
Coalition up there.
We will bring charges as soon as we know we have the evidence to support them.
Jennifer? The Attorney General gave us a little bit of information about the victims. What else can you tell us? Are you able to tell us the ages of the victims, and when do you expect to release the names?
We are looking at potentially releasing that later today. We'll get all that information.
Commissioner, there's a lot of people on the street who are relaying to us frustration with the fact that the shooter, surrendered peacefully and saying things, pointing out that, black men often in conflicts with the police have been shot for much less. Can you just respond to that criticism that is out there, or maybe just frustration in the community?
So what he said was, if y'all can't hear the question, he's like, sentiment to the community is that if that was a black man in that same situation, he would be shot and dead already, and y'all took him in without incident. What do you have to say about that?
Any opportunity that we have, and that's what we teach to de-escalate a situation, we are not looking to shoot anyone.
Bullshit!
Oh, you could have came up with a better answer than that. That was the wackest answer.
This individual at the time put the gun to his own chin, not pointed towards the officer.
Has that ever mattered?
So y'all just heard that? So if you point the gun at your own self, all of a sudden, that's what gets you off.
I call bullshit.
The shooting
I
had
call
stopped
that
at
your
that
gun
point,
somehow went off and blew out your brains will be what the story is.
Right.
Moved in very quickly to de-escalate. Had the need come into play where they were forced to take deadly physical force, then they would have acted on that. Again, keep in mind he was heavily armed. He had metal plating.
Y'all just shot a black man in the back of the head on a traffic stop. Yeah, or not a tether dude in the back of the head on a traffic stop, popped him right in the back of the dome. He didn't have no gun or no armor on or nothing.
Armor plating vests on, and that could have been a really bad situation, but we responded as we're trained.
The security guard fired shot at him because he was wearing protective.
You're right. You saved them and you shoot us.
Yes, our retired officer, Salter, working security there, engaged a suspect, fired rounds. We have evidence that he struck him at least one time, and that unfortunately had no effect.
Associated Press, Carolyn.
When was the weapon purchased? And also, given that the state police had investigated him at his high school, would there have been anything in state law or another law to prevent?
So basically, what she's saying.
So we're not going to get into specifics.
Oh, now they don't want to get into specifics. The question was asked, since the state police investigated him at his high school already, so they'd have been through this with this dude already.
Of when the weapons were purchased, we have a timeline of that. We have a track, and the ATF immediately moved on that. As far as last year, it's been put out there that the state police had brought this individual in for a mental health evaluation. He went to the local hospital. He was there for, the information we have is about a day and a half, was evaluated and then released at that point. So,
sir, question for the governor. We're coming on.
So what's that mean exactly? Sandy Hook. You did nothing.
That's the overlay for the underlay, and plus also to set up the mental health illness type of thing.
When everyone said this will never happen again, the political environment is now probably even more difficult.
He's one of the homies.
What are you going to do differently?
I'm going to keep fighting. Our proposals make common sense.
Yeah, he knew the police, brownie cakes.
Announced the number of safety measures to protect New Yorkers on Tuesday. I'm going to continue with that press conference to make sure anytime we find a loophole,
he's one of the
that we
homies.
close it quickly. There's actually guns. They're called AOWs. Any other gun Believe it or not, they look like an assault weapon, but they don't fit the description of laws right now because the criminal mind is very diabolical. And
so here
just
they
like
go.
with ghost guns, years ago, no one would have thought of.
Here they go, talking about it's the guns. Oh, he has a gun that is not protected by laws right now. So that's how he was able to get out there and shoot people. Man, shut up.
What a ghost gun is, that you can literally order online the components of a gun that could take people's lives. I just signed a law outlawing that. So we're always trying to stay ahead of the criminals. When we find out that they take advantage of loopholes in our laws, then I'm going to keep closing them. But
and I've been doing my job, and my job is to close them. So every time they get smarter than us, then I go ahead and I switch it up on them.
She just said a whole bunch of nothing.
National response. What was used was not able to be purchased legally in the state of New York. The basic gun was, but the high-capacity magazine associated with it had to come from another state because it is illegal in the state of New York. We need a smart national policy.
Here we go. That's all they know how to talk about. Gun law, gun policies. We need some gun not terroristic white males who go on 4chan and other various sites and get fed all type of bullshit, go out and then do it in the real world. But then they don't go to the niggas with the sticks, with the poles, ready. They go to your grandma's groceries. He's a coward.
Right.
Let's start with something as what I would say in the no-brainer category after Sandy Hook. Shame on this country.
She said, oh, it's the country. It's because of Sandy Hook. It's because of my feet have calluses by the left toe. What?
At that time for not passing something as basic as a background check. So I'm ready to recharge that conversation. Yes, it's a challenging time politically, but that doesn't mean that we should stand down and let the criminals win.
Have you heard any offers of cooperation across party lines, across the judicial divisions on this issue?
Of course.
No, but I expect to hear from them because these are their constituents as well. They represent other New Yorkers, other people across this country. And this is a time when, regardless of your political philosophy,
we got to come together and fight against those Negroes. That's all it comes down to. She didn't say nothing about the shooter or nothing like that. We got to get guns out of the hands of these Negroes.
Philosophy or registration, leaders need to lead. Step up. Step up. This can happen in red.
Step up to what? Step up to targeting young white shooter males? I agree. Step up. Step up.
It's just as easily as blue states. So we have a national moment here where the world is focused on what
white shooters. That's what the world is focused on. White shooters.
Happened here in Buffalo.
Happens all the time, everywhere, and it's going to keep on happening because y'all don't do nothing but blame guns. Guns don't shoot people. Young white male shooters do.
Yes, it is white supremacy terrorism.
Oh, is it? What are you going to do?
So it does.
Hold up. What are you going to do about it? Watch her skip over that, though. But what it's really about, yes, it's about that. But what it's really about, watch this.
Domestic terrorism, we have to fight that. But also that coupled with the access to guns.
Told you. See, it's not really the white supremacists. Nah, not them, because they're my little nephews and cousins and shit. What it is we got to stop them little niggas from getting guns, man. They out of control. We can't control them. Man, did you hear that? Let me say it.
Or registration, leaders need to lead. Step up. Step up. It's going to happen in red. It's just blue, as easily as blue states. So we have a national moment here where the world is focused on what happened here in Buffalo.
Which is white supremacy out loud.
Yes, it is white supremacy terrorism.
That's all it is.
That's what it is.
That's it.
But you already knew that, though. You've been warned.
Wait. So since they know it's white supremacy terrorism, then we don't got to think about the hate crime. Then it's automatically that, then, for sure, then, right?
Right.
But what are we going to do about the white supremacists? This is a question. Okay, great. Shooting, guns, blah, blah, blah. But it is about white supremacy terrorism. I didn't say it. The white lady said it, y'all. The white lady said it, man.
Domestic terrorism, we have to fight that, but also...
But, when you say but, that negates everything that you said before that. Do y'all know that in language? Do you know that in speech? That when you're talking to somebody and they say, I love you, but they don't really love you.
At all.
Just I want y'all to know that. She said, it's all about white supremacy, terror, and all of that. But...
that coupled with the access to guns.
What? That coupled with? So is it that or not?
Is the lethal combination that we have to continue to stop. So I call on...
3-card Monty.
It's the lethal combination. It's the lethal. Girl, if you don't get your...
leaders everywhere. Regardless of what you may have felt about guns in the past, this is a time to say we actually value people's lives. And that's what I'm going to be...
So what about what we thought about white supremacy in the past? Don't think that no more? Or you don't care about what we think about white supremacy? It's all about what we think about the guns.
Expecting.
Governors and state police.
And she stepped right off. That's it. Don't worry about the white supremacy. Worry about the guns.
Issue of social media, what would that look like? Are you talking about legislation? Are you talking about two-way conversation? How would you fight hate speech without impinging on certain...
You know, hey,
I understand.
BB gangs,
no, hold on.
Stealing.
The question was, how do you combat hate speech? The
individual at the time.
The dude asked a question, how do you combat hate speech? Hold on, he said, how do you combat hate
First
speech?
Amendment rights very well.
Is it legislation or is it a conversation? How do you fight hate speech without infringing on certain individuals' rights? The rights of white people to say foul shit whenever they want to. How do you do that?
I understand First Amendment rights very well.
I understand white people saying foul shit very well.
No intention of impinging upon them.
I have no intention on infringing on white people saying wild shit.
However,
now when you say however, that's just like
the same as but.
That's just like but. All the shit she said before that, don't worry about that. This is it.
hate speech is not protected. You cannot yell fire in a crowded theater because people's lives could be in danger.
What is fire? Fire ain't hate speech. That was the wrong analogy to use. Because she definitely ain't gonna say you can't say nigga. Now you notice she said, notice she didn't say you can't say the N-word to anybody you want. She's not gonna say that. Because that she be saying that to herself. She like, I can't tell myself that.
And people rush out of there.
Right.
That is settled law of the land. So there are parameters if you're going to be inciting people to violence. That's not protected. So we know the limitations on...
If you're going to be hold on. If you're going to be inciting people to violence. So you like when an antagonistic little PC person is all up in your face yelling nigga, that incites you to violence. What do you do about that? Y'all ain't been doing nothing about that. But if somebody says, you're a dirty Asian, oh, shit. You're a dirty Asian. What?
On what our laws can do. I'm going to make sure we're protected at the state level, but also there is much more to do from the social media companies themselves. I want them to sit in a room, look me in the eye, and tell me, have you done everything humanly possible to make sure that you are monitoring this content the second it hits your platform?
So now they're making it about him putting the video up, not about what was on the video, but just make sure y'all catch videos like this when they go up. Now it's the social media people's fault that this happened. Man, PC people just place the blame everywhere. You know it was a rock that was in front of his foot before he got out the car that he stepped on that made him really actually pull the trigger, right?
Because he wasn't planning on doing it.
He wasn't going to do it. He was just going to scare him. But the fact that he hit that rock, we got to blame rocks. See, it's rocks in our society that are placed in the wrong places that make people do things like this.
And we have to step up and realize that.
We do. Hold on.
And if you're not, then I'm going to hold you responsible. So prove to me that there's nothing else that can be done, because they have a lot of resources. So don't tell me you can't afford this.
Just like y'all, huh? Why does it keep happening in y'all police departments then, huh?
There's a lot of technology. Monitoring aspects are important to us, as well as working with our state police officers as well and our federal partners.
Have you reached out to Twitch, to Discord, to those sorts of platforms to start these conversations?
No, this literally happened less than 1 day ago. I assure you, when I get back to Albany, their phones will ring.
So what she just told you is that the politicians got direct access to all the social media companies, and when she get back to Albany, she gonna get him a call. Watch what you're posting, people.
So I need to follow up on this. The fact that this individual, we're now learning, was brought in, was questioned, the state police brought him in, there was a mental health evaluation, yet he was still able to get his hands on these weapons. Again, we're seeing signs of indications that there was perhaps something going on in this person's life, and yet no one was able to stop it. How concerning is that to you?
So he's saying, he asked a great question. He said, there's been multiple incidents with this dude with guns and multiple run-ins with the law. Why hasn't anybody followed up on this? And the way that he was able to slip past the cracks, don't you think that's concerning? That's what he asked her. This is her answer.
I'm very concerned about this. Obviously, this happened before I was governor, but I'm still going to find out what happened and when it happened, and how we don't exactly know how all the weapon components were attained. As I mentioned, the most lethal part of the gun.
It doesn't matter how they was taken. See how she pivoted real quick? He asked you, are you concerned about somebody like this slipping through the cracks? You turn around and talk about how he put a gun together.
The high-capacity magazine was not legally purchased in the state of New York. So obviously a law was broken in order to either purchase that or to transport it across state lines. So we have a lot more information to find out.
3 more questions right here.
That didn't even answer the question.
This kid was brought by state police, and he was evaluated and making these comments online. Did he slip through the cracks, or was he on radar?
Okay, so they saying that he done said this stuff online before. If y'all don't know, he made threats about shooting up a school last year. That's what they talking about. They talking about they brought him in, made a mental health evaluation, and they was like, well, was he even on a radar? Were y'all even actually looking at him?
This individual was not on the radar of the FBI.
Well, there you go. Well, there you go. Well, there you go. There you go. There you go. Was he on the radar? He done said he was gonna shoot up shit before. Y'all brought him in. Y'all said he had guns. He had run in with the law. Was y'all looking at him to start something, to do something new?
And to my knowledge, he was not on the radar beyond the incident with the state police.
He wasn't on the radar beyond the... Because it's their cousin. That's their little brother. Their little cousin.
That's it?
They nephew. This is state-sanctioned murder. They said it was okay for him to do that.
Period.
How did they say it was okay for him to do that? By giving him a pass the first time he said he was going to do it. Now he did it. And they brought him in like, good job, buddy. Good job. But you know what? You messed up. You killed some white people in there. We're going to have to tax you. We're going to have to tax. See? You're a little gun-ho there, buddy.
I was saying that yesterday.
Yeah, you're a little gun-ho, buddy. You're a little gun-ho there, buddy. You should have kept it at the blacks. But no. See, you wanted to flex your little white supremacy. You shot a couple white people, bro. We got to get you. You know what our numbers look like? You said it yourself. You know what the numbers look like. What are you doing?
But he was on the radar of the state police, right?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
No, look, they tried to clean it up. He was on the radar of the state police, wasn't he? Right? He like, yeah, that's what they said. No, you didn't. Nigga, you did not just say that, fam. Hold on. Let's hear what he just said, because he lied.
And he was...
Find out.
3 more questions right here. Number
Follow
1.
up on that for the FBI. If this kid was brought in by state police and he was evaluated and making these comments online, did he slip through the cracks or was he on radar?
Did he slip to the
This
cracks?
individual was not on the radar of the FBI, and to my knowledge, he was not on the radar beyond the incident with the state police that's been referenced.
He was on the radar.
So he wasn't on the radar.
That's what I just said.
If I could speak to that real quick.
I think this is an important point.
It is. So the individual was brought in for a mental health evaluation. He was evaluated and then he was released. As far as when we say on the radar, there was nothing picked up on the state police intelligence, nothing that was picked up on the FBI intelligence. Nobody called in. Nobody called any complaints. You monitor any social media. There's a lot of people in this world that use social media. As the governor said, as the mayor said, social media companies have to be able to monitor keywords that might pick up on something that can then notify us. But anybody that might have been monitoring individual social
nigger should be flagged, but it's not, because you guys can't be flagging that, else y'all wouldn't be able to talk.
Right. It don't. I've seen white people do it all day long and nothing happens to them.
Social media also has a responsibility to notify law enforcement. Anytime any of these law enforcement agencies are notified that there might be something, we investigate it, and we can take it as far as we can take it, but at the very...
You're lying. Y'all had the nigga in your clutches. You got him because he threatened to shoot up a school. That's radar right there. Y'all say, oh, no, mental evaluation, he's good. He's not going to shoot any white people. That's what the mental evaluation was. Now, would you shoot white people in a mass shooting? Go. No, it's just blacks. It's just those immigrants. You know, Jews, we will not be replaced. Jews, die. If you take out the Jews, we'll let you go. If you take the Jews out, we'll let you go. All right, it'll just be the blacks and the immigrants. Fine, clean bill of health. All right, nothing to see here. He's good. And then this happens.
very least, we'll put somebody on notice that we're aware of what they're saying. It may not be a violation of law, but we certainly like to make sure that they are put on notice by law enforcement.
We good on this?
Y'all didn't put him on notice by law enforcement after he made that school shooting threat.
Jennifer?
This is for Governor Hochul. You had mentioned earlier, obviously high-capacity magazines are illegal in New York State. You had alluded to earlier...
Mass shooter at church in Orange County, California. Let me see.
Uh-oh. We'll be right back. If that's the case, we coming right back. We coming right back. DGBG. Where you tapping in, mommy? B1 to you, sister.
No, they didn't release him.
Nah, they didn't release him. Where you tapping in from? Because once you tap
Not
in,
yet.
your family. Where you tapping in from, babe? Your family now. 10 minutes ago, barely breaking. Oh, well, we finna break it right now.
Oh, you found it?
No, what is it?
Barely breaking. Oh, multiple people shot at California. Oh, yeah.
All right, we'll be right back, y'all. Buffalo,
good
New
looking,
York.
P.
Good looking, P.
Buffalo, New York, stand up.
Hey,
be safe out there, sis.
Be safe out there, sis, man. Get you a candy bar and stay strapped with it. If you don't know what a candy bar is, it's something that you can break somebody off a piece of. You get me? Love, peace, blessings, and aloha. It's a lot of news today. We just can't stop, baby. It's Keep It PPCast. We be right